Hi, welcome to the third part of the Triangle of Sadness movie commentary episode. If you haven't listened yet to the first one and the second part, both of them will be linked down below in the description so you can check them out. And yeah, enjoy the episode. Thank you.
I'm funny how? I mean, funny like I'm a clown, I amuse you?
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
I'm 37? I'll have what she's having.
Well done! Well done!
This is a super yacht. It's different, but like in a big cruise ship, it's a city. It's a city on water. Like it's like the mayor of the city, isn't it? Like it's a pretend city, and you're having dinner with the mayor, basically.
I didn't even wanted to have dinner with the mayor of my city.
Yeah,
so
it's like
you
why?
see.
It's like it's one of the things. It's a formal thing. I laughed a
It's
lot
a
with the
rich thing,
captain.
okay?
Oh
It's a
yeah.
rich culture thing.
And
So me
and
not
when
being rich, I wouldn't get it.
yeah, and when they are sitting, like you see how they are serving them like the plates, and then they uncover the food all at the same time, and it's like you can't even describe what they're eating and stuff. It's really weird, the entire thing. And what I found funny is like when they show you the captain's table and they uncovered, and the captain is having a burger with fries.
Like I just thought that was brilliant. I was
Yeah.
thinking about it. Like everyone is eating this very, high cuisine,
Yeah.
meals.
Yeah,
You don't
very
even know what
gourmet
is
kind of thing,
exactly.
and the
And
octopus, it's like just a tentacle of the octopus. It's like what the fuck?
yeah, and then the captain is just eating a Big Mac
Yeah.
with some fries, and he's like, I just don't like, I just don't
I
like,
don't like fine dining. I'm
I
not fan
don't,
of
I
that.
don't
Yeah.
like fine dining. I was
It
just
was really
thinking
funny,
about,
man.
yeah, I was just thinking about he knows the drill. He knows the
Yeah.
drill. Like,
But the twist, and I love the shots in this part. The twist with this dinner is that the boat is going through a storm. There's a storm that hits the boat, so the boat is rocking a lot. And you have the guests and the captain. They all like kind of like going with the motion with the boat, and you have
yeah,
plenty of shots where people are not straight. They
yeah.
like
No,
going
the
towards.
camera work in that scene was
It's
brilliant.
such
I felt like in a
awesome.
way, the whole direction of that scene was also trying to make the viewer sick as well,
Yeah.
trying to get the viewer there, not only just showing how the boat was in a storm and how things were like just rocking from one side to another, but also just putting the whole characters also more
Yeah,
in a
yeah,
diagonal and
yeah,
whatnot and rocking forward and backwards, and it's like you as the viewer would get a bit sick as well. You would
yeah.
start to. But you know what, just one thing about the hamburger, like the burger thing
Mm-hmm.
of the captain, when it showed the captain's plate and it was full with food,
Yeah,
next to him was Jarmo, the IT
yeah,
guy, and he was looking, and he had like a fine dining meal, and he was looking at the ham, like at the burger and the captain, and I just felt like this confrontation, they didn't really explore it, but I was just hoping that I want the rich to feel bad for eating fine dining, like to feel
yeah,
like, damn, I wish I was eating that
yeah.
much food.
Burger, yeah.
That seems delicious instead of
Yeah.
eating this shit that I don't even know how to describe, which I don't doubt it's good, okay? I never went to like how je ne sais quoi, we were
Yeah,
talking about that restaurant. But I really want to go one just once to a fine dining place with the food and meals that I cannot even describe because they are
yeah,
so weird. But I really do want to go just to have the experience of it, because I do feel first of all, I love cuisine. I love the whole industry of the kitchen industry, and love it. And it really fascinates me how cooks can make food
yeah.
um looks so intricate and beautiful, and something so no it really is an art form when you think about it, because it really transforms the food into almost like an art piece.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure.
It is an aesthetic experience, you see, and I feel like you are paying for that as well. You're not paying just for food, you are paying for the whole emotion and the whole aesthetic that is presented to you and the work
Yeah.
that was behind it. And for that reason, yeah, you might feel good, but a lot of the times you are not eating enough.
Yeah,
Like, it's
you're
very
not,
little.
yeah, it's very little, but if it's well done, you eat just enough. You see,
True.
it's like
Okay.
the captain's plate. It's way too much. It's like this huge hamburger, like a double
True.
burger, and full of
Yeah,
fries. Like
true.
no human being needs that meal. You know, you don't really
No.
need that meal. But it's like I've been to, like, when I was working for this big company here in Portugal, we would have like these types of dinners paid by the company, of course, but it's like this annual gala kind of thing, and you go there and you eat all these gourmet stuff and and I had the good ones where you don't starve. Like what you eat is actually enough for you. You fine. You don't feel like overbeared with the food,
Okay.
but
That
you
is
just
good.
feel, yeah, you just
Okay.
feel nice. And the mixtures of tastes and everything is just amazing. But then when it's not done properly, yeah, I would be like ordering a burger, like a burger through Uber Eats or something like that in the end of the meal, because it's like, oh, screw this. I'm still hungry. Like the last month, I went to a wedding and the food was like that. And one of the things with the food, when I saw the menu, was sea bass. And it's like, when I buy sea bass, I eat a sea bass all by myself. Okay, the sea bass, they have like about 300 to 500 grams. That's like a pound of a sea bass kind of thing. So I eat the sea bass all by myself. So when the sea bass plate comes, there's like three pieces of sea bass in the plate, but really beautiful, plated and everything. But it's like,
Wow.
it's like three pieces of sea bass, and then you have the bed that it was under. It was under like this sweet potato kind of mushed up thing, and when
Of
you eat,
course.
yeah,
Of
when
course.
you eat,
Fine dining always has mushed something.
yeah, and when you
Like
eat the
they
entire thing, like the mixture of it, the flavor was awesome. But it's like, you don't even like, you eat it, you first impact you have is like, oh God, I'm gonna starve. But you don't, you actually don't, because it's just the enough amount of food that you need, so your body feels good with it. And the
Wow.
mixtures, because of the mixtures of the different ingredients, it kind of fills you up. But anyway, I don't like fine dining, because I think it's an art form, it's a compliment to the chef, but I think it's way too much. It's like paying, like in je ne sais quoi, 70 euros for a steak. It's just like, no, I'm not doing it.
Never.
Never, I'm not
Never.
doing it.
You know what I could buy with 70
Yeah,
euros?
yeah, imagine, it's like, it's just
What do you
nuts.
mean?
And it's like, in that film, it's amazing because as they are dining and they're having all this food, the boat keeps rocking, and there's such an awesome shot. I don't know if you remember this or if you noticed this in the old couple's table with the influencers, and they're having with Carl and Yaya, they're having, like, they're
Oh,
talking.
the
There's a
old couple that
seaway.
invented the grenade.
Yeah, the grenade
Okay, yeah.
couple. There's a wave that comes and clashes on the window, of course, and the
Yeah,
window
yeah, I
gets
remember.
dirty. And all of a
Yeah.
sudden, like, they are eating, and there's someone cleaning the window.
Yeah, I
Yeah, you
remember
remember that?
that.
Oh man, that is such a beautiful shot. I was like, this is brilliant. This is one of the best moments in cinema that I have ever seen, that talks about class. It's just like, you have this super rich having this dinner. There's a storm outside, the boy is
Like a
rocking.
storm.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
there's actually someone cleaning the window so that the super
but it
rich
has
can.
to be clean, yeah.
Oh God, I was like, this is so good. This is, you
But
don't need to
but
read Marx, guys. Just see this film.
no, you Honestly, this movie has such a satire element to it, you know, and such a dark comedy in
Yeah.
terms of the class discussion. I feel like it really has these moments, these small moments
Oh
that really
God.
puts everything in perspective. And you know, the storm gets worse and worse, and you know, as is common, we are getting into Bruno's favorite part of the
Oh yeah,
movie.
I love this part.
So the people are, which is normal, people are getting sicker and sicker,
Yeah.
you know, because
And
both
maybe the
many.
food went bad because they went for a swim.
Yeah, I mean, maybe the food got, I mean, the fault is
It's
the
their own.
whose fault is it? Whose fault is it?
Yeah.
And as you guessed it, people start throwing up.
Yeah. Yeah, in the dinner table. Oh God.
We are not talking about just a burp, okay? We're
No.
talking full on projectile
Yeah.
vomit. We're talking like you see the chunks,
Oh
okay? You see
yes.
everything. And and this is so
And it
funny
gets
because it's
worse
like
and worse and worse.
all of these rich
Oh,
people
it's so
super
beautiful.
glammed up, you know, with jewelry and
Yeah.
very expensive clothes and super like eating that fine dining, and then suddenly they're all throwing in each other's faces.
Yeah.
And getting like chunks of vomits in each other's suits,
And
and I
there's
was like, yes, eat the rich, come
eat the
on.
rich, yeah. And there's this guy that gets served and he grabs on because they were serving the plates with a, like a little hat on top of it. And
Yeah.
the guy gets served and he grabs the hat and he vomits really violently. It was so amazing. But then it even gets worse because all of a sudden the vomiting is not enough, so they need to go to their rooms and they start shitting themselves. And oh,
Exactly. They
it's
start like
so.
everything is floating. You don't understand. The toilets are floating.
Oh
Like
yeah,
shit and vomit is
it's
everywhere.
everywhere.
And while this all of this is happening, the boat keeps like the camera and the
Yeah,
boat are keeping like going from one
keeping rocking
point to
from
another.
like. And the captain is still sitting on his table drinking with the Russian guy. Like he doesn't care about what's happening. They are getting pissed and they start discussing like communism versus capitalism, and they start
Yeah, they
going
start
getting
quoting, you see,
quotes
because
from everyone.
Dimitri is a self-made billionaire
Yeah,
on, you know, selling shit after the collapse of the Soviet Union.
yeah,
So he's very Reagan quoted, you know,
yeah,
he's a very capitalistic man and he just, you know, he loves it. While the captain is a very socialist kind of guy, you
yeah.
see. So they kind of start quoting stuff one like quotes, famous
One after the
quotes.
other. Yeah,
Yeah, but then the quotes, the memory quotes start like becoming less available, that like they don't
yeah.
remember many more, and then they just turn their phones on and they just start reading
Reading
quotes
stuff, and then they
to
end up
each other.
in the captain's cabin speaking in the intercom through the entire ship. So you have all these rich people. Some of them are lying on the floor because the boat is really rocky and they don't know if the boat's gonna sink or not. And the Dimitri starts like, I sell shit, and then he says the shit is going under because he wants to say the shit is going under, but everyone hears the ship is going under, so everyone
Exactly.
starts panicking. And the first cut when he says like the shit is going under, you have a guy that packed up a suitcase and he leaves the room with the suitcase, and you're like,
Yeah,
where are you going with that suitcase, you idiot? You're in the middle of the ocean. It's like
yeah, he's going to swim.
it's
I
really
love.
funny. and
Do
and
you
and
know?
then they start reading, they start reading Chomsky, and they start reading Marx, and they start reading all these guys, and
And while all of this is happening, like it cuts to shots of people just
vomiting and
shitting and
shitting
vomiting
themselves, and
and the toilets floating and everyone falling down and just bumping their heads, and it's a mess. Okay,
it's a
everyone is
mess. It's
wet
a
and
river of
dirty.
shit,
Okay.
going through the ship. It's such an amazing scene. And one of my favorite scenes was the Dimitri's wife, and she's laying on the floor of a toilet at one point, and as the boat rocks, she goes
She
through the
rocks.
floor. She slides through the floor because the floor is all filled with vomit and everything. So
Yeah.
she's covered in vomit, and she slides through the floor. She grabs the toilet, vomits a little bit, and carries on sliding.
Yeah, she slides from one point to the other.
Yeah.
And then
And then she comes back, the boat goes on the other side, and then she slides to the other side, grabs the toilet, vomits a little bit, and carries on sliding. Sorry, it's like she gave up on life.
she
It's
she
so
gotta do
funny.
what you gotta do. What do
She
you
gave up
mean?
on
Like,
life, and oh man, are you
she's
so
an old
so
lady.
funny?
She's an
Yeah.
old lady. She can't really, hold herself. So she, of course, she's
Oh
gonna
God.
slide.
It's so funny. It's tragic at the same time because we are making fun of people because they're rich. But
I
it's
didn't
so
felt
funny.
bad. I was like,
No, I
yes.
didn't know. Yeah, it's like,
No, of
yeah,
course
you
I
deserved
didn't.
it. And then
Yeah.
all of a sudden, like it's morning, and you have the old couple looking like in this balcony of the river, and it cuts to a scene that you don't know what it is, but all of a sudden you understand that there's this group of pirates approaching the boat, and the first thing the pirate says is, "Give me a hand grenade."
Stop it. It's so funny. And they threw the hand grenade.
It's for
And
the
it
hand
just,
grenade. The woman picks it up, the hand grenade, and goes like, "Oh, is this one of ours?" And the husband's like, "No, no, no!" And then it explodes.
it's a full circle moment for
Yeah,
them.
it
It is.
is. It is.
It is. It totally is. Like,
It is.
and the boat explodes.
Yeah, the pirates they
So,
take over the boat explodes,
and
and
that's how we get into the
part
part
three,
three of
the
the
islands.
island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like so there's this few group of survivors that they reach this island, they don't know where
Yeah,
they
so who
are.
survives? Who survives? So it survives Yaya and Carl
Yeah.
survive, Dimitri survives, and Paula,
Paula,
the head of the crew staff survives, and Jarmo survives,
Teresa
and also
survives.
who?
Teresa is one of the
Oh, it's the woman who has the walking disability.
yeah, the one that has a stroke and she can't walk.
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
She can only say
Teresa.
one phrase in German. It's
Yeah,
very
and
funny.
she repeats that phrase all the time.
Yeah.
And
She's
yeah.
a Duolingo failure.
Stop! Oh my god! You know what? Her stroke
Yeah.
came from the Duolingo bird. He
Yeah.
took her
Probably
revenge.
it's from the Duolingo bird bullying her and she got a stroke.
Totally. And okay. And
And
yeah,
the
and
ship's mechanic, but you don't know if it's a pirate or not, is it? Because he gets accused of
oh,
being a
true,
pirate,
true, true.
but he says,
We
"Oh no,
don't
I'm
know
the
that.
ship's
Yeah.
mechanic." But you don't actually see him in the film. You only see him like at that
It's
moment.
Nelson. His name is
Yeah,
Nelson, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, true, true. But we haven't seen him as the ship mechanic, but he
No,
says so.
no, he says
So,
so. And Dimitri's like,
well,
"No, you're a pirate." And this guy's like, "You only say I'm a pirate because I'm black. You're racist." And Paul is like, "No, don't go there. Don't go there."
don't go there. And it's like Paula, they're the super rich. Of course, they're gonna go
Yeah,
there. Like,
and they're like, "Paula, do you know this guy?" "Oh, we don't know everyone," because she doesn't even know if he's the ship's mechanic or not. It's so funny that
so
scene.
we're just gonna have to take it. These are our survivors. You
Yeah,
see, these are the characters that survived, and they are like just laying on an island, like lost in an
yeah.
island, desert island, and they're all very much like, what is happening? Later on,
A lifeboat.
a
Yeah, a
lifeboat,
lifeboat. Yeah,
yeah, comes to the shore, and they're like, oh, what is that? So they go to the lifeboard, and who is there inside the lifeboard? Abigail.
yeah,
Who's Abigail, you're asking? Abigail is the head of the cleaning department.
yeah.
Okay, so she's one of the cleaning ladies, one of the Filipino cleaning ladies. And when Abigail opens the window of the lifeboat, Paula is like, Abigail, it's you. What are you doing? Give me the ships. Give me the water. Give me
Yeah,
everything. And she's super rude to Abigail. And I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
Paula, like, we are not in the ship anymore. Can you
Yeah,
please be more, like, can you be nicer? Like,
yeah.
what? It's incredible how even outside of the context of the super yacht,
She keeps
the
it.
exactly the whole dynamic and the class division is still the same. I didn't see Paula necessarily being continued to be super nice to the rich people. Like I
Yeah.
feel like she continued to be like she kind
Doing her
of
job, wasn't she? She just kept doing her job.
exactly, but to Abigail, because she's lower than her,
Yeah.
she was being super rude still.
Yeah.
But little did she know that Abigail would actually take over.
Yeah, because she was the one with survival skills. She could fish,
Exactly.
she could build, she could make a fire. Yeah, I find funny when she like, oh, you need to make a. When she gets the octopus, she catches the octopus in the water and everything, and she comes and he's like, you need to make a fire. Does anyone know how to make a fire? And there's this shot of the three men, of these three surviving men, or four. They are in the same shot, the four surviving men, and they are like looking like, no.
Do you know how to clean an octopus?
And
No
they're
one
like,
knew how to
no.
clean an octopus. Do you know how to cook an octopus? No one knew how to cook
No.
an octopus. No one knew how to make a fire. No one knew shit.
Yeah. So
Ladies and
Abigail,
gentlemen, these are the super rich.